Morning, Catherine. Morning, Shelley. I'm looking for this. Hey, Mary. I responded to your email this morning. I saw your email. I gotta get. Oh, hey, Danny. Okay, so here we go. Did I run the dishwasher last night? It smells like I did. It looks like I did. She's a genius. Good job, Sasha. You are a smart girl. Okay. Oh yeah, loading dots are gone. Yay, loading dots are gone. I'm not 110% sure what that means, but it sounds lovely. What's everyone doing this morning? How's everyone doing this morning? What's up, what's up? I'm gonna use my cupcake cup. Morning, Amanda. Morning, Anya. The dots when it freezes are pauses. Oh, is it doing that again? Why does it sometimes do that? It's bizarro. Bizarre. Oh, playgroup. Unpacking one of my 1,000 boxes that I haven't touched since moving in here. That is fair, honestly. Moving is hard. Oh, it's just full. Hold on, I have to empty this. I need to take this over to the thing today. This is very full. Very, very full of pods. Needs to be recycled. Need a new bag, etc. and so on. Morning, Stephanie. Oh, I didn't get our collagen. Costco voyage for moving boxes. Oh, that's right, you are moving soon. I just been kicked out of your live twice. Why? By TikTok just being a pain in the buttocks? I hope I'm not busy tonight, so I have time to read. I hope the same, Stephanie. That is a win. Why does TikTok not want you? Because TikTok, yes, I mean facts. We all know that's facts. We all know that. I could write an entire paper on the suckiness of that. After my brother and his family moved this weekend. Oh, where are they going? Do they live near where you live now? Do we think that okay, hold on. Yesterday, we had a thing where it didn't dissolve properly. I've been reading your book very slowly. I hope because you're trying to savor it and not because it feels slow. That is my hope, Anya. She's in California, Catherine, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, but unfortunately for the moving box situation. Definitely because you want to savor it. Yay! Savor the book! Morning! How are you, Jen? Oh, stretchy. What's everyone drinking this morning? Anything good? You're loving the book so far? Yay! Do you have the same reaction as my sister, Catherine? Pocket full of sunshine stuck in my head, and I don't know why. Drink great coffee and a chocolate croissant. Coffee and a croissant! Ah, that sounds amazing! I wish I had a croissant. Whoa. I may have slightly overdone it on Secret Fiance's coffee. Oh, it's so... Wait, it's perfect. Okay, it's not spilling. It's just perfect. Look at that. That is on the edge. Whoa, it's right there. You ordered your coffee last night? Oh, I'll be packing that up today, Des. I have a whole bunch of books. His pocket full of Sasha. Yeah, maybe. Because of last night. That's right. Or from yesterday. I haven't read a physical book in forever. Oh, I hope you love it, Des. I really do. Hey, Grace. I mean, obviously, I hope everyone loves it, but I have a special place in my heart for those of you who have been with me over the course of writing it, you know? It's very exciting. Yeah. I don't know if any of you remember how I said I was thinking about like messaging my high school English teacher and asking her if I could, I saw that, Cindy, thank you for that, and asking her if I could send her a copy. I don't know if you guys remember me mentioning that, but Jen, thank you. I messaged I posted on her Facebook, because we're Facebook friends, my former English teacher and I was like, hey, do you think I could send you a copy of my book, because you played such a huge role in like everything I do writing wise, blah blah like that. And she responded and she said, what if I told you I already bought it and it's in my stack of things to read as soon as I finish grading papers for spring break? I was like, that's very sweet. So she already has a copy. She bought it. Yeah, it is very sweet. It was a very sweet thing to hear. I was like, well, I wanted to sign yours, but okay, thank you. Yeah, it was very sweet. Yeah, maybe I'll send her a signed copy also if she gives me her address. So that was cute. Guys, it's 1.5 weeks until the cruise. Now you gotta have a book signing so she gets a signed copy. Yeah, I mean, that would be fun, right? That would be fun. I mean, I don't have to stalk her. I know, I mean, we went out to brunch last year, and like, obviously I know where she works because I went to high school there. I could just go to the school, send her a copy, at least the book extras. Oh yeah, maybe. How did she know about the book? Probably just saw it. I guess she must follow me on some social. I mean, we are friends on Facebook, so maybe she follows me on other social too. I don't know. I don't think she has very much social media, to be honest. In what? What's Mille Air? What's that? You guys, this dill is out of control. Remember how Shira came on Monday? I cut the dill to give Shira dill on Monday, and now it's already this tall again. I cut it down to nothing. Meanwhile, parsley doesn't feel like growing ever. We're getting a new baby over here also. I think we might be getting a new Monstera baby leaf. Where is it? I thought we were, oh yeah, right here. Hold on, look. This one's new, it's not open yet. Anyway. Dill is out of control. Dill grows so freaking fast, you guys. It's like, pew! Literally cut it on Monday for Shira. That would be really cute, Stephanie. If they, I wonder if she would let me come talk to her class or something. I don't know, just for the fun of it. It's like Mayor. Oh, interesting. Oh, I didn't know that, Grace. I've never heard of it. Never heard of it. All right. Good morning. How are you?
Okay. How are you?
Good. Your coffee's over there.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. So the book that we're gonna read next came in the mail yesterday. This is what the cover looks like. It's a chunky boy, but I feel like we can. There's a lot of weird, Anyway, it should be fun. I don't know. This is our next read after I get back from the cruise, so that'll be fun. It does kind of look like my tattoo. Oh, you did, Liz? Did you like it? Haven't started yet. Oh, well then you should wait and read it with us. I feel like it. The locking carts are awful everywhere, Grace. Yes, agreed. You know what I was just telling them that I didn't have a chance to tell you because I only found out this morning and you were sleeping?
Yeah.
Remember how we were talking about my English teacher and how I was going to message her to send her a book?
Yes.
I commented on her Facebook and was like, hey, blah, 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 and said the whole thing or whatever. Like, can I send you a copy? And she was like, well, what if I said I already bought it and I'm just finishing grading papers for spring break and then I'm going to read it during spring break? I was like, oh, so she already has it. I don't know. She must have seen one of the things that I posted somewhere, but she already bought it.
See, I told you.
Yeah, so she has it already. I was like, oh man, I wanted to sign your copy. But
she's like, finish grading papers and then I'll grade your book.
no, don't grade it. No, I don't want her to grade it. I don't want her to grade it. I just want her to read it happy. No grading. Ah! No.
She's not gonna grade.
I don't want her to grade it.
Oh, good news, she's not going to.
I just want her to sit there and be like, whoa, that was fun. Hey, you're still in Texas. Oh my gosh, why? Come back to California. I'm just sitting in my car eating sushi. No, that's not, yeah. The ring looks very pretty on my face. Should I just keep it on my face always and read like this? Yeah, Cindy, having editors edit your work is one thing, but having a teacher who literally did grade your work for many years, look at, you're not, it's nerve-wracking. She was my teacher 2 different years.
She probably gave you A's.
She did. She gave me a lot of A's. I got all A's in her class. It was great. She was the first person who told me that someday when I grew up, I was going to need to write a memoir. She told me that when I was 17. She was like, you should probably get a title for your memoir now. I was like, oh. That was pretty funny. She's very sweet to me. That's true. If she's reading it during spring break, that is high praise because that's a coveted time for teachers. It's true.
But would it be cute if she like mailed you the book back with an A+ on the cover?
That with an A+ on the cover, but with no other other edits. I don't.
We'll just never open it up to see.
Yeah, I don't want to see the inside. It's so scary. It's scary. I'm all yeah, no red marks. I am Facebook friends with her, my high school music teacher, and then I'm also Facebook friends with 3 of my college professors. I wonder if they got it.
I'm friends with 0 teachers.
You don't even have a Facebook. That doesn't count.
If I was on Facebook, I would not be friends with my teachers.
I was that kid. Everyone's surprised. Oh, by the way, NASA's looking for astronauts again, so if anyone has a master's degree in STEM. I don't, Grace.
You don't what?
Have a master's degree in a STEM leaning thing, because NASA's looking for astronauts. Do you want to be an astronaut?
Yeah, I want to be an astronaut. Do they have a hard time finding people who want to be astronauts?
I guess so. Or if you're a pilot, you get to skip so much stuff if you're a pilot.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not either of those things. I'm not either of those things. Yeah. Yeah. I have been, for the last few days, doing research, trying to figure out how to actually use my degree in my next book.
Your writing degree?
Well, no, my fairy tale degree. I was like, I have 3 more book ideas, but my original like plan for my my master's was learning these folk tales so that you could write them into modern fairy tales. And so I'm like, can I take any of the stories in my mind and make that happen with one of these stories so that
You should write a little fantasy thing.
not a fantasy, that's not what I'm saying, but like
It's folklore in real life, you're writing some sort of fantasy bit.
not really, that's not true. Like if you think about in the same way that like 10 Things I Hate About You is a remake of Taming of the Shrew by Shakespeare. It doesn't take place in olden times, but it's still that story. There's no Shakespearean.
Why not add some like actual folklore into the story?
I don't know. My Spanish teacher was randomly Max's soccer coach. That is very strange. That would be weird, Becca. That would be really weird. I don't think I have the emotional capacity to do The Little Mermaid. But, because I already have these stories, I was just like, can I weave some of that into it? I don't know. I will, I'm not going to say which one. There is actually a folk tale that I have a musical version for in my head that I've wanted to write for like literally 15 years, but I would need a musician to write the music because I can't write music, so. Anyway, that's the whole kit and caboodle, but we gotta sell this book first anyway, so it is what it is. All right, chapter 16, The Tears of Medusa. Dun, dun, dun. The drawing is really fun for this one. To me, these look like the people at the fair in Mary Poppins. Maybe, Becca, I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Tears of Medusa. Froggy hopped around the abandoned dwarf mine and poured Medusa's tears into the eyes of all the statues. He was surprised to see that there were just as many stone animals in the mine as there were men, women, and children. The statues were pale, solid rock, and frozen with such terrified expressions that Froggy didn't recognize any of the faces. He prayed the teardrops would reverse the magic and the Bailey twins would appear among them. Once he finished pouring Medusa's teardrops into each pair of stone eyes, Froggy took a step back and waited with bated breath. Like chicks hatching from their eggs, the statues slowly started to wiggle and crack. Arms and legs began moving, heads began turning, and the stone chipped away like it was nothing but a thin shell. The men, women, children, and animals brushed themselves off and cleared the dust from the back of their throats. Froggy was relieved to see so many familiar faces around him. He saw his brothers, Chance, Chase, and Chandler, and their wives, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, and Snow White, and his nieces, Hope and Ash. Froggy also recognized Empress Alvina, Queen Rapunzel and Sir William, Hagetta, the traveling tradesman, Red's granny, the little old woman from the Shoe Inn, Rook and Farmer Robin, Sir Lambton, Sir Grant, and the soldiers from the charming and northern kingdoms. He saw Cornelius, Porridge, Buckle, Oates as they uncovered themselves. The people and animals looked around the abandoned mine in a daze. The last thing they remembered was the bright eyes of a horrifying monster, and now they were brushing layers of stone off their bodies. "What happened to us?" Snow White asked. "You were turned into stone by a creature named Medusa," Froggy explained. "I poured her tears into your eyes, and it reversed the spell." Everyone's confusion doubled when they realized Froggy was standing beside them. "Charlie, is that you?" Chance asked in disbelief. "Hello, brother," Froggy said. "Words cannot describe how wonderful it is to see all of you." Froggy gave his brothers and their wives enormous hugs and kissed his nieces on their cheeks. "You're out of the mirror," Cinderella said. "But how did you escape? Red told us it was impossible to free you." "Well, that's what I thought, but I've been happily proved wrong," Froggy said. "Getting there was an awfully big journey, and I promised to tell you the story one day, but right now it's urgent that I find Alex and Connor." Froggy looked around for the Bailey twins, but they weren't inside the crowded mine. "Wait a second. Where are the twins?" he asked. "Well, they aren't here," Chandler said. "They went into the other world." "And what about Red and Jack and Goldilocks?" "They're with the twins," Chandler said. "Don't worry. They're safe as far as we know." "I don't understand," Froggy said. "Why would they all be in the other world?" The Charming Brothers looked at one another with a very concerned expression. They wanted to fill Froggy in, but they didn't know where to begin. "Oh, Charlie, so many terrible things have happened since you've been gone," Chase said. "The masked man stole the potion from the late fairy godmother's chambers and used it to travel into the books in your library. He recruited a terrible army to attack our world, imprison citizens from every kingdom. He almost executed all the royal families, but thankfully Jack and Goldilocks saved us and brought us to this abandoned mine. After we escaped the masked man's army, they turned on him, and now 3 horrible emperors are in power." "Unfortunately, I'm quite familiar with the emperors," Froggy said. "I saw the Wicked Witch and the Queen of Hearts and Captain Hook through the mirror in the Northern Palace. I overheard them making plans to invade and conquer the other world next. That's why I need to find the twins immediately. I need to warn them. The emperors are coming." "Oh, the twins went to the other world to recruit their own army," Sleeping Beauty explained. "Jack, Goldilocks, Red and Trollbella went to help them assemble it. They've already enlisted people from the worlds of literature, like the Tin Man from Oz, and the Lost Boys from Neverland, and the Merry Men from Sherwood Forest. Froggy thought his ears were deceiving him. Did you say Oz, Neverland, the Sherwood Forest? He repeated. Well, they've certainly had quite an adventure without me. What sort of army are they assembling? The twins recruited characters from Connor's writing, Rapunzel said. Froggy's mouth dropped open. That's remarkable, he said. But why go to such an extent? Aren't there enough people in this world to fight the literary armies? Surely the Fairy Council could do something to help. The Fairy Council was turned into stone long before us, Sir Lambton said. The literary army attacked the Fairy Kingdom before ambushing the others. They came so quickly in the middle of the night, there was nothing we could do to prepare ourselves. Froggy had known things were bad, but he had no idea that they were this bad. He sat on a boulder as the magnitude of the situation sank in. Just for the record, I'd like to remind everyone that I predicted all of this, the traveling tradesman said. Remember when I was using the Lost Boys marbles to foresee the future? I specifically said, worlds collide. And look what's happening right now. Worlds have collided, all right. Hagetta rolled her eyes at the silly man. Oh, shut up, you old geezer, she said. If you're such a gifted psychic, where was the warning about the literary army, or the monster who turned us all into statues for a week? Regardless of the challenging times, Froggy still felt the need to warn the twins about the literary army's next conquest. He leapt to his feet, more determined than ever to find them. I need to find a way into the other world, he said. How did the twins manage to get back and forth? Hagetta looked around the mine and retrieved the emerald green Land of Stories treasury from the ground. Well, they've been using this, she said, and handed the book to Froggy. It's been splashed with the portal potion, and the book is open. When the book is opened, a powerful beam of light projects from its pages. Step through the beam and you'll enter the other world. Thank you, Froggy said. I just hope I'm not too late. Do you want us to come with you? Sir Grant asked. No, this world needs you more than I do, Froggy said. Once the literary army's crossed into the other world, the rest of you should use their absence to liberate the people from the Northern Kingdom. There's also a cottage just a few miles east of here by the river. You'll find the missing children from the Corner Kingdom and the Charming Kingdoms in the basement. Take them with you and reunite them with their families. The royal family and the soldiers nodded, eager to be of service to their people again. Rook stepped forward. I want to come with you, he said. If Alex is even remotely in danger, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help her. That is out of the question, Farmer Robin said. An enormous army is headed for her world, Rook. It's too dangerous, and I won't let you put yourself in harm's way. You don't understand. I have to, Rook declared. I'm partly to blame for this whole mess. If I hadn't led the Grand Armade of the royal families, the masked man would never have had the opportunity to steal the portal potion. I betrayed Alex, and I have to live with the guilt of 100 men because of it. The only way that I can redeem myself is by making things right. This may be my last opportunity to make it up for her, so I'm going there, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. After seeing the determination in Rook's eyes and hearing the passion in his voice, Farmer Robbins knew there was no arguing with his son. Instead of debating him any further, the farmer clasped his son in a tight embrace. Well, be safe, he said tearfully. You're all I've got left, Rook. I will, Rook said and hugged his father back. Your father's right about one thing, Sir Grant said. The other world's going to be significantly more dangerous once the literary army enters it. Even if the twins have secured an army to fight them, the two of you shouldn't make the trip alone. Froggy couldn't have agreed more. Well, we'll take the Fairy Council with us, he decided. I just have enough tears left to set them free, but we need to hurry. As far as we know, the army could already be headed to the other world. Well, then we'll take Cornelius to the Fairy Kingdom, Rook suggested. He'll get us there 3 times as fast as any horse could. Rook whistled, and the chubby unicorn stepped out from a group of animals. Cornelius loved being signaled and neighed arrogantly. Porridge, Buckle, and Oats grunted. There was nothing more annoying than a big-headed unicorn. Splendid, Froggy said. We'll leave at once. Froggy and Rook climbed aboard Cornelius and steered him out of the mine. The unicorn galloped as fast as a race car. They charged through the dwarf forest and sped towards the Charming Kingdom. Within 2 hours of their departure, they were already approaching the Fairy Palace and the Fairy Kingdom, or at least what was left of it.
The destruction was a devastating sight. The golden pillars and arches of majestic palace had been blown to bits by the Jolly Roger's mighty cannons. The vibrant gardens surrounding the palace had been burned to a crisp and were covered in debris. In the center of the ruins, Froggy, Rook, and Cornelius found the statues of Rosetta, Tangerina, Xanthos, Esmeralda, Skyline, Violetta, and Coral. The colorful fairy council was just as pale and stiff and frozen with fear as the people had been in the abandoned mine. "What kind of monster is capable of this?" Rook asked. "It wasn't her fault," Froggy said. "It was the monsters behind the monster. They're the ones to blame." Froggy jumped down from Cornelius's back and approached the statues with his bottle of Medusa's tears. Just as he was about to pour the first teardrops into Esmeralda's stone eye, the sound of approaching footsteps came from behind him. Froggy turned and saw a group of strange men walking toward them. "Quick," he whispered. "We need to hide." Froggy, Rook, and Cornelius dived behind a fallen pillar, although it was much more difficult for the chubby unicorn to crouch behind it. They watched as strange men entered the palace ruins. There were 11 men in total, each wearing the armor of a knight. They inspected the damage with their swords raised, and the men carried large shields, but Froggy didn't recognize the crest painted on them. "Who are they?" Rook whispered. "I have no idea," Froggy said. "They aren't from any kingdom I'm familiar." "Don't move!" Froggy, Rook, and Cornelius cautiously looked over their shoulders and saw the 12th knight snuck up behind them. He was a very handsome and muscular young man, and he held his sword just a few inches from their faces. "I found a couple of scoundrels hiding in the debris," he called to the other knights. "I beg your pardon," Froggy said. "Who do you think you're calling a scoundrel?" "Who do you think you're talking to?" the knight asked. "Who do you think you're talking to?" Froggy repeated. "I happen to be a king, thank you very much," the knight declared. "Well, so am I," Froggy announced. "Then you must be responsible for the damage," the knight said and raised his sword, preparing to strike. "Then you must be responsible for causing all this damage to the palace," the knight said and raised his sword, preparing to strike. "Addie, cut it out. He's with us." A split second before being sliced open, Froggy was saved by a familiar raspy voice. He looked into the singed gardens and saw an elderly couple approaching the ruins. Froggy recognized the woman the moment he laid eyes on her. "Oh, Mother Goose!" he yelled. "Hey, Charlie," she said. "Long time no see." Mother Goose gave Froggy a hearty but friendly pat on the back. "Hey, Merlin," she called to the old man behind her. "This is the guy I was telling you about. The prince who was cast into a frog and got kidnapped at his own wedding and then got thrown into a magic mirror." "Oh, my poor tragic fellow," Merlin said and vigorously shook Froggy's hand. "It's such a pleasure to finally meet you, and my condolences about, your life." "Hey, Charlie, how'd you get out of the mirror?" Mother Goose said. "I escaped," he said. "It's a long story, but where have you been all this time?" "Oh, I moved to another dimension," Mother Goose said. "Alex and I got trapped in the world of Camelot while we were chasing the masked man, and I took one look at this handsome devil, and I knew it was time to settle down." Mother Goose winked flirtatiously at Merlin, and the wizard kissed her hand. "Wait a moment. You mean that's the real Merlin?" Froggy asked in disbelief. "The one and only," Mother Goose said. "And this is our squire, King Arthur. Sorry, Addie. Old habits die hard." "You're King Arthur?" Froggy said. Arthur became defensive. "Yes," he said. "Is that a problem?" "Not at all," Froggy said. "You just seem so young. I always imagined King Arthur as older, a man with a beard and an unpleasant scowl." "Addie wasn't supposed to be king until he was much older," Mother Goose explained. "He started having nightmares about Alex and wanted to come check on her. I told him if he finished his training, I'd take him to the fairy tale world to see it. But I didn't think he was serious about it. But the kid pulled a sword from the stone and founded the Knights of the Round Table just in a couple of days." "Knights are much easier to persuade when they're teenagers," Arthur said. "Well, we had never heard of a round table, but we didn't have much better to do," one of the knights said with a shrug. "Right, and what was your name again?" Arthur asked him. "It's Lancelot, your grace. Anyway, the crusades just sounded like fun, so here we are." Rook looked Arthur up and down, instantly intimidated by the young king. "So, You and Alex are friends? He asked. I'd say we're more than just acquainted, Arthur said with a telling grin. Well, I was her first kiss, Rook bragged. I'll be her last, Arthur quipped. Rook roared and charged towards Arthur, intending to tackle him. In one swift motion, Arthur threw Rook over his shoulder and pinned him to the ground under his boot. Boys, knock it off, Merlin said. We don't have time for adolescent love triangles. There are much bigger issues in this story. Speaking of which, what the heck happened to the fairy palace? Mother Goose said. This place looks like New Year's Eve at Pompeii. The fairy council is stiff on the outside as they were on the inside. Charlie, what the heck is going on in this world? Froggy let out a deep sigh. It's been attacked by an atrocious army of literary characters, he explained. The Wicked Witch from Oz, the Queen of Hearts from Wonderland, and Captain Hook from Neverland joined forces to take over the kingdoms, and recently they've set their sights on the other world, and I was on my way to warn the twins that the army is coming. Then it wasn't a dream, Arthur said. Alex really is in trouble, and we've got to save her. All right, Mother Goose said. Addie, you can say I told you so later, but right now, we've got to get our keisters into the other world and help the twins. Lead the way, Charlie. We're coming with you. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Froggy said. But first, I need to loosen up the fairy council. Yeah, good luck, Mother Goose said with a snort. I've been trying to loosen up those broads for centuries. Froggy hopped over to the statues in the center of the destruction and placed 2 drops of Medusa's tears in each of their eyes. Just like the people in the mine, the fairy council began to wiggle and shake and crack. With 7 bright, colorful blasts, the stone covering their bodies exploded, and the council was finally free. The fairies looked around at their ruined home in shock. Emeralda, however, remained as stoic as ever. As if she had been deep in thought during her entire time as a statue, the leader of the fairy council emerged from the spell, knowing exactly what needed to be done. Alex, Emeralda said sharply. We need to find Alex. Dun, dun, dun! Pretty good. That was a great chapter. We had a lot of fun characters colliding. Rook and Arthur in the same chapter. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No good. No good, I tell you. What is going on? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you don't do that. You definitely don't do that. I don't have anything to say. Probably Mario Wonder, but he's got his headphones in, so I can't ask. The last couple of chapters have been great. Everything's coming to a head because we're coming to an end. You know? It's just wild. It's a wild time. It's a wild time in the land of stories. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say except I love you guys. I have a ton of orders going to the post office today. Oh, I need to go look at the poll for texture of the month and see what everyone wanted to learn this month. I don't know what one. I need to remember to do that after this. Will somebody text me and remind me to do that so I don't forget? Oh my gosh, I need to do that. And then we need to set a date for our class. Yay, I'm so happy for you, Shelly. I think the post office lost my slime. The good news is, Becca, there's more. I have more of that slime. It's not a big deal. If they lost it, we'll submit a claim. We'll do another one. Not a big deal. It's literally not the end of the world. None of the slimes, thank you, Liz. None of the slimes that I have, there is no slime of the month, Becca. Oh, I see what you're saying. What is the texture of the month for the class? Yes. Maybe I will be on later to make the Easter clouds. If I get everything jarred up and I clean the bins, I need a big bin to be able to make that cloud. So I'll let you guys know if I'm gonna do that, and then that's it. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys.